I am testing. I am testing. Okay, doesn't sound too bad.
Good afternoon. I would like to call the March 9th board meeting to order and ask that you join in a moment of silence. Thank you. And now would you please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we will have Director Knight read our mission statement.
The Waterloo schools will set the standard for urban education by ensuring that every student is given the comprehensive support and diverse experiences needed to graduate with a diploma and a plan.
Thank you, Director Knight. We do have a friendly amendment to our board agenda this evening. It'll be item 7A.
I move the Board of Education add 7A, school presentation, Carver Academy, to tonight's agenda.
Second.
So all those in favor of approving the recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. And that will be item 7A. The next item on our agenda is a board celebration. It is a donation from R.J. McElroy Trust. It is a superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve or accepts with gratitude this donation in the amount of $200,000 from the R.J. McElroy Trust in support of the Waterloo Schools Life Labs program.
Second.
And I know we have Erin said, oh, there she is. Hard to spot you in this large crowd. Here to tell us a little bit more about this donation and what it'll be used for.
Yes, so the $200,000 we will be able to use next year in support of our Life Labs pre-K through 12. And this year we changed things around a little bit with Life Lab. We brought everything within community. We're able to find some experiences for our students that the majority of the money needed was more for transportation. And so we are actually under that $200,000, so that will more than cover for next year. Are there any questions?
So that's just what I was going to ask. This is just for 1 year, correct? This is,
Yep.
okay.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add?
No, but contact us if you need chaperones.
Absolutely. The next one is March 27th. Fourth grade is going to the Iowa Regional for Robotics at McLeod Center. So yes.
And in the agenda, there's a list of each grade and what the students participate in for Life Lab. So I think that was pretty good information as well. So if you ever are interested in what our students are doing, there's a list of each grade and what they do for Life Labs. Yep.
No, I was just going to say with the Life Labs, I think it's really served our kids on learning. I'm in the school, so I kind of have seen the interaction between Life Labs and actually application and also the information that's being displayed there. So I want to thank that.
Our students are getting a wonderful chance to connect with different places in the community, and then our community is getting that wonderful chance to interact with our kids. So. Okay. Thank you.
And of course, thank you to the trust for this donation. This is incredibly generous and allows us to continue to provide these opportunities.
All right. Anything else? All right. So All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye. Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. The next item on our agenda is a school presentation from Lowell Elementary School. And we are excited to continue spotlighting the outstanding work that is happening across the district. Tonight, we have two presentations. The first will be Lowell Elementary School with Principal Carrie Heiserling, and I see Miss Dr. Annette Duncan, and lead teacher Letitia Lay.
Yes, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves before we start. So as Aster said, I am Carrie Heinzerling. I'm the principal at Lowell Elementary.
And I'm Letitia Lay, the lead teacher at Lowell.
I am Katie King. I am the lead teacher of Kittrell and Lowell Preschool.
I am Stephanie Peters, first grade teacher.
Hello, Annette Duncan, instructional coach.
So we are always asked to bring something to the board that we are super proud of. And one of the things that we are very proud of at Lowell is this year, we brought the Lowell pre-K program together with the K-5. In the past, they had their own office, their own administrator. And last year, we were asked to work with the pre-K and make them part of Lowell. And so one of the things that we are very proud of is that despite doing that and all of the changes that brought, Katie has been an amazing addition to Lowell. But we were able to keep our staff climate survey results super high. And in fact, we won the trophy, which we are very proud of. So we thought we would share with you some of the things that we have done, like with our staff. So this survey results document or PowerPoint that you're going to take a look at tonight will show what we shared with our whole staff. This is just a small part of our leadership team. We actually had every person. We have two amazing paras that are our lead paras that help with this, and then we also have a leader at every grade level and two from the pre-K. We join every other week on Thursday, and this is what we put together, and we all shared this with our whole staff. So you can see that this last fall, we went from in the spring of last year, 91.45% up to 96.19%. And when you're bringing two staffs together in that way, that isn't typically what happens. And so I'm just super proud of the work that our team has done to make sure that pre-K feels a part of the elementary and elementary feels a part of the pre-K, and just the work that we've done to bring everybody together. So we're going to share some information with you.
One of the most important things that we started with before we even ask staff to take this is to make sure that they know it's anonymous, that we want them to give their honest feedback so that they can feel comfortable saying whatever they feel is important for admin to know, team leaders to know, so they all know that you can share what you need to share so that we can take action steps towards the next thing that we need to do. The first question that they get asked is, do you feel valued in your role? And overwhelmingly, they all agree that they feel valued in their role at Lowell. And that's just something I think that we can all feel very proud of at Lowell, because we all know that we're doing something together equally important. A couple of comments, you can kind of see why do we feel valued. We describe Lowell as being positive, respectful, supportive workplace. We are heard and appreciated and trusted, not just by our admin team, but by each other. So I think that that speaks volumes too. And we'll throw in both sides of that. You know, when we say we want them to be honest, why do we not feel valued? These are some of the things that we create an action plan for. What do we need to be working on? What do we need to do differently? What can we do in the next months and years to go forward? Some staff do feel undervalued or unsupported in their roles. What are those pieces? lack of input in decision making, unheard when advocating for students, or strained team relationships. What does that look like? How many people might that be? What is that population or percentage? Workload increase and staffing shortages are creating significant stress. What does that look like for our staff and our teams, and how can we support them in different ways with their increase of responsibilities? And then inconsistency in support across roles and departments. We know that affects job satisfaction. So what is that going to look like? How can we make sure that we offer consistent support?
The next thing that we asked them to talk about was the honest and open communication among staff. So the dark green is highly satisfied, and then the light green is satisfied. So 22% highly agreed, and the 72% agreed that there is honest and open communication in the workplace. They are grateful for the open and honest communication between admin and each other, and that the district or the school leadership team really works hard to make sure that we're visible and in the classrooms, supporting, engaging with students and with staff. As we continue to move forward, we're having action plans for communicating those expectations, especially around behavior. So talking about what we could do next, things like that. So because all of our staff want to stay in the know about what's happening, which we appreciate that everyone wants to come on board to support our students. When we ask them about collaboration, 25% strongly agreed, and 65% agreed that there was strong collaboration in the building. They felt like they were well supported by both admin and their colleagues, that there was great relationships, which is wonderful considering that there has been a lot of new relationships that have been created. As with any building, they would love more collaboration time. And so one action step that we took is we were able to take some of the funds that we were given to pay teachers to come after school to collaborate on that SIP plan to provide additional opportunities for collaboration. They have also, they're hungry to learn. They're hungry for more professional development, onboarding training, because they want to be the best that they can at their job. And so they continue to ask us for more opportunities, and we work really hard to make sure that they are getting filled up with everything that they need in order to be successful at their job.
I have the part about feeling safe at work. We have systems put in place for procedures and protocol so that everyone feels safe in our building. And then for our building administration, Katie kind of hit on it. Just we have a diverse population bringing on with preschool along with our other staff, just getting everybody together to collaborate. And then and respect that law, just knowing that they are heard, they are respected, and that we listen to what they're saying. And then also is just making sure that everybody needs what they need, what they need in order to do their job. Blah. Oh, and listening to their ideas and their suggestions as well.
Okay, as far as, a little shorter here, our building administration really does seek ideas and suggestions from staff. As you can see by this, we're at 98% agreed with that. And for any time there's that little bit that don't agree, they are seeking out why. They want staff feedback. They want to know, how can we fix it? And if that's your perspective, that's your reality, what can we do to make sure that we fill in those things that our staff need? So some of the comments about administration, that we felt strongly that there was building level communication and that our leadership strong, supportive, consistent. The staff praised the communication in our building, the transparency, and just how we're responsive to different needs, and also committed to creating that school culture. One of the comments was about sometimes district level decisions and oversight create challenges. We recognize, Carrie understands that there are things that we need to have be initiatives. How can we make it work? What do we have in place that we could make even better? One of the comments was also about some consistency issues with behaviors in any building, but when we look at our tiered data, it's excellent. You think about over 93% of our behaviors are awesome. So, and I'd be remiss to not just say, I feel like our administration team, they are really dedicated to building systems and dedicated to making sure climate and culture is high, not just because of the survey, but because that's their moral imperative and that's just who they are. And Lowell's a great place to be.
Thank you. So we wanted to connect it back to students, right? Because that's what we're in the work for. So one of the things that we talked about was happy staff equals happy students, and it makes them want to come to school, right? It is all connected. We talk about that all the time. Attendance is connected to culture, is connected to academics. And so just wanted to share a little bit of attendance data. We are, our average daily attendance right this second is higher than we were last year at this time, which is exactly what we want. And we do feel like part of that is because kids love coming to school, because our staff is happy, and because our staff is making, good decisions for students. And so our chronic absenteeism is down right now from last year at this same time by almost 2 percentage points. And we have done a lot of work to make sure that trend stays moving in the downward position over the next few months. So, again, when a school builds a culture where staff feel valued and students feel like they belong, attendance improves simply because people naturally show up where they feel like they matter. So our staff matters, our students matter. I think you can see that in our survey results. And we did give a little dipstick at the beginning or at the end of February just to kind of see where our culture climate was landing, and we were still at 95%. So I anticipate after spring break, when we take the real spring survey, that it will be no different. So thank you for your time. We are happy to answer any questions that you have for us in regards to any of the data we've shown tonight.
Over what period of time was this survey taken, and how often do you do the surveys?
So the school district asks us to do it twice a year. So we always do it in the fall and spring. We did a little dipstick at the end of February just to make sure we were on track for the spring. And then that one is only the Super 7 questions, but the other survey is a little wider than that. But we do it every year, at least twice a year.
And then the attendance and the chronic absenteeism, that is up to date as of?
This is up to date. So the chronic absenteeism is as of February 28th.
Okay.
And then the attendance rate, I pulled it Saturday. So that's as of Saturday.
Very good. Thank you.
Tableau is amazing. Like, you can get on there and get your data right up to date. So.
Not a question, but a comment. I appreciate the twofold questions. Why do you feel valued, and why don't you feel valued?
Yes.
I mean, that's awesome. Then you could take the information that you get and make changes. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the two-way
Thank you.
questions there.
And when we send the survey out, we say, hey, if you answer anything, disagree or strongly disagree, please give us feedback as to why you marked it that way. And if you have thoughts for how to make it better, we can't grow. And if people only put that and don't put any comments, it's really hard to know. Communication is so wide. What is it about communication that you feel like, isn't going well? And so that has been very helpful too, just to make sure that they are putting comments in, because without those, it's hard to know exactly what we need to do to grow. So thank you, Crystal. Appreciate that.
I
I
think
attendance
it's,
rate should get better as we get into the spring. I think we had a really rough winter for different bugs and germs going around.
Absolutely.
So it didn't help matters, I'm sure. It's and as you get to spring, everybody hopefully heals up. We get some
Yes.
more outside time and get away from being everybody cooped up in the same building a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That'll be really fantastic by the end of the year. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
So what do you feel like the top three? What do you feel are the top three initiatives that you have done that have created this?
and if someone else wants to answer, that's fine. I would say from my perspective, last year, one of the things we found was that our paraeducators, their scores were lower than our certified staff. And so one of the things that we did at the beginning of this year was we made a document for gen ed teacher, special ed teacher, paraeducator to fill out together of how you like to communicate. How do you like to be communicated with? What are we going to do if there's a problem in our team? What are we going to do when things are going really well? I think that was a number one thing that we did that just helped our teams to communicate better. So that would be I would say that would be the biggest thing that we did. I also think that we talked a little bit about behavior. Behavior comes up every time we have a survey, right? People feel like, oh, it's, not going well. Right now, we have 93% of our students in tier 1. That's amazing. 93% of our students have one or less major. One of the things that we did pull out to share with staff was, again, Tableau's amazing. If you don't get the opportunity to look at it, it's fantastic. So I believe Eric, has created this really awesome Tableau document where you can just at an instant pull up, where are you in tier 1? Where are you in tier 2? Where are you in tier 3? And you can look at it across the grades. So we pull that up at our staff meetings and share that out. Here's where we are. Here's where we are with suspensions. Here's where we are with in schools, things like that, so that you can share that data immediately with staff. It doesn't take an hour to find it and put all these things together. Immediately, you can pull it up. I think being able to share those things right away and not have to I'll get that for you, being able to just immediately pull it up, I think also makes a difference. And the last thing I would say is I think Katie, myself, Letitia, Annette, even Miss Peters, we have open doors. We have open doors every single day. Our walkies are on. If somebody's asking for assistance, we are going. We are not waiting. We are not sending someone else. The 3 of us in particular are going. Dr. Duncan's always there if we need her. And then, Miss Peters, she just does a great job in her classroom. She doesn't need us very often. So, but we are there 100% supporting staff in all of those things. I don't know if somebody else wants to say anything. Sorry.
Make sure yep.
I 100% second that. I think that one thing I'm really proud of is our visibility among staff and students, and our proactive nature to check in with teachers. We try to check in every day. I make it down to my wing to every classroom to check in and proactively check on students that are hard, that are having harder days, so that teachers know that they feel supported even on those harder days.
I wanted to add, so my niece is doing her student teaching at Lowell right now. She just started it last week, I think, at Lowell. Her name's Alyssa Morgan. So she's in kindergarten, I think. And the first thing that she said was, Mom, or she said it to her mom, but she's like, to her mom, the vibe there is just so positive. From the moment she walked in, she felt welcomed and supported. And it was just, when you have baby teachers, you want them to walk in and have that. So it made me a little emotional. Yeah. So congratulations. And I'm so excited to hear that that's how new people walking in can feel.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate the fact that looking at how you're communicating amongst each other, and the simple fact that has filtered down to the kids, and it's about learning. Be quite honest, that's what it's all about. Our kids learning. The fact you have 93% in tier 1, that's saying something, because there's some ones in the middle. But if you didn't have that communication and everything, maybe it wouldn't be 93%. So I would like to applaud you and the school and everyone that works there that has been working hard on that communication with students.
We've used the term tier 1 a couple different times, and I'm just wondering, making sure that we know for the group, if you want to I know you would said that really Carrie, you explained it. I heard you say it. You said one
Yes.
or less major. Why don't you explain tier 1, tier 2, tier 3?
I'd be happy to. So when we look at, so we have majors and minors. Minors are for minor behavior. Classroom teachers take care of that. But when we look at majors, those are the ones that are office taken care of. So that would include myself, Miss Leigh, or Katie, and those. So tier 1, any students who have 0 or 1 majors fall under tier 1. So, and that's for the whole year. So like 93% of our students are at tier 1. The district asks that number to be above 85. So we're at 93. Tier 2 is anybody between 2 and 6 majors. So that's where some of those students are getting maybe a little individual plan. We have a tier 2 team that meets every other week. We make sure that they have a plan in place, whether that sometimes is getting to play basketball with Mr. G in the gym, or getting to, like, they might get a little sheet. It has our stars expectations on it, and we circle a 1 or a 0, 1 or 2 depending, and then we track that data to make sure they're growing. And then tier 3 is anybody who has 7 or more majors. And then those students, just to be perfectly honest, many times those are our students who have IEPs with behavior plans. We try really hard for those kiddos not to get there because they do have a pretty significant plan. And so sometimes we have to have an IEP meeting or bring parents in to have a conversation about how those things are going. But so it's 0 to 1. I said that wrong. 0 to 1, 2 to 5, 6 or more. I apologize.
What percentage is in tier 2?
So tier 2, we actually just looked at this morning. Tier 2, I want to say, was like 4%, and tier 3 was like 2%.
Nice.
Sorry, I don't specifically remember, but
That's
it was.
fine.
What is
they
the
were good.
breakdown that we
Thank
usually
you.
want, Amy? Do you know what?
I'm sorry.
What's the breakdown that you usually want for tiers?
Yep. So 85% in tier 1, 10% in tier 2, 5% in tier 3. Yep. Yes.
Yeah. All right. All right. Keep up the good work,
Thank
Lowell.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And that was just for information only, so no vote. Gotta make sure we emphasize that. The next item on our agenda is item 7A, which is a school presentation from George Washington Carver Academy. And I see Mr. Ben Barnett in the back with a group of Carver students that are making their way up to the front, and they'll tell us all the good things that are happening over at Carver. Don't ask me how to do it, but if you can figure it out.
We'll get the DLT when they're ready. We'll get them. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you for letting us do this. I had my wires crossed a little bit. I'm on the agenda later on tonight because you're going to ask me some questions about an MOU. But when I got the email saying, hey, don't forget you're on the board agenda, I thought to myself, hey, Carver's presenting at the board, so let's get this in gear. So I really appreciate Ms. Arndorfer and everybody else on the board hearing us out. So here's our Carver School Board presentation. I just want to start. A couple years ago, Mr. Payton, who's sitting in the back, who was the head principal at the time, he started something called Carver Culture, and it is stuck. And we have felt it in our bones and in our heart. And so we've kind of put some words to articulate what we believe Carver Culture is. And so we just kind of try to live by this motto every single day that we walk into our building. Carver Culture is more than a phrase, it's a feeling. When you walk into Carver, you feel it. There's an energy here that's hard to explain but impossible to miss. It's in the way staff greet each other in the hallways, how teachers rally around a student having a tough day, and how every adult in the building knows they play a part in something bigger than themselves. We serve a community where challenges are real and resources are often limited, but we don't make excuses. We show up. We lift each other up, and we push forward together. We see it as a reason to work even harder, to love harder, teach better, and never stop believing in what's possible for our kids. Carver culture means we are student first, always. It means we don't just talk about equity, we live it. We support each other relentlessly, we hold high expectations, and we understand that consistency and care go hand in hand. We address systemic barriers, we close gaps, and we create a school climate where students and staff feel safe, seen, and supported. This isn't just a job, it's a commitment to each other, to our students, to the belief that all kids can succeed when adults believe in them and believe in each other. That's Carver culture, and it's what makes this place so special. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. We have had a very successful winter. And so I'm going to have some students come up here and talk a little bit about the different programs. We're going to go from robotics to 8th grade band to 7th grade boys basketball to 8th grade boys basketball. And I just want the students to sort of explain their role in each of them. And by the way, many of these students participated in multiple of these activities. So please just give them your ear. And at first, we're going to start with Mr. Montgomery.
Can you hear me good?
Yes.
Hello and good evening. My name is Joaquin Montgomery. I'm here to represent the Carver Robotics team. I would like to begin by talking about the accomplishments of my team. Above all 4 teams in Waterloo to make it to state, we were one of them, ending in 19th place. Our team, number 15480, was top 2 in our regional division, getting us the Finalist Alliance Award. This achievement was accumulated over months of hard work, dedication, and practice in the innovation field. We also got the Design Award for our simple but efficient robot. We are incredibly proud of what we have managed to accomplish this season, and we are ready for the next. And lastly, who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Wincarius Wright, and I go to George Washington Carver Academy. I will be talking about the 7th grade boys basketball team. This basketball season, our team worked hard, learned from great lessons, achieved goals over at George Washington Carver Academy. Our starting lineup was King Love at point guard, Xavier Prime at shooting guard, Wincarius Wright at small forward, Jordan Harris Wade at power forward, and D'Angelo Lay at center. The 7th grade boys basketball team went 6-2. They built a connection throughout practices and games. At the start of our season, a lot of players only joined because they're friends. They only wanted to play to get out of class early and because they wanted attention from other people. But at the end of the basketball season, they improved on their skills and learned the great life lessons, and they started liking basketball on their own.
Hello and good evening. My name is Diana O'Neill, and I represent girls wrestling. And wrestling has been a good experience, whether you have done it in the past or not. The coaches have open arms with love, and one thing I learned about wrestling is that it teaches you discipline and togetherness, and it helps us prepare for other sports. I would say it has changed me as a person because not every time is playtime. You have to go to work, and that's what I had to do to win my matches.
Hello, my name is Camille Watson. I'm an 8th grade band student. I don't have much on my slide, but I will talk more about it. Our GWCA band teacher, Miss Menega, she has been working at GWCA for 7 years. We have earned a superior rating at our Northeastern Iowa Bandmasters Association Large Group Contest, NEBA. We worked really hard to get that. We went for maybe 2 months practicing on our band songs, and something that helps playing it with the instrument, it can improve your memory and help with your coordination. Some of the things that we have done through the past years, we have, I believe, 6 people that have went to contests this year in honor band, and I believe we did really good on that. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Trayvon Henley, and I am from George Washington Carver. This basketball season, our team worked hard, learned from great coaches, and achieved big wins, and accomplished our goals together. The experience taught me and my teammates discipline, teamwork, and leadership that will carry on with me on and off the court. We finished the season 7-1, and even though we had a tough loss, our team stayed together, battled as brothers, and bled our Carver culture as a hashtag team. Thank you.
So just to add on, every single one of these programs was also coached robotics by our CTE teacher, Miss Josie Christensen. 8th grade boys basketball by our 6th grade science teacher, Mr. Joel Riley. 7th grade boys basketball by our behavior intervention specialist, Mr. Andre Galloway. And then Miss Menega, obviously. And then Miss Cheryl Jones, a paraprofessional at George Washington Carver, is our girls wrestling coach. And just pays to have good people in the building caring about your students and doing what's right for them. This next bit is incredibly self-serving for me. Because I don't know if I'd ever have a chance to do this, to publicly in a forum like this say thank you to a person who has meant a great deal to me this year. When I got this job last year, I remember I'm very young, I'm very new to this, and so I remember saying to Josh Payton, who was outgoing, I said, I need some help, Josh. And he goes, what about, have you ever met Miss Turner? I've never met Miss Turner. She was kind of a figment in my imagination, an abstract person to me. And so I just need to take this moment to say thank you to this person who has meant so much to Carver over the long term. She came to Waterloo in 1965. Guys, that date is pretty important because it's 11 years after Brown v. Board of Education. This is 11 years after Emmett Till. This is 11 years, and she showed up without her father, with her mother, and she came to Waterloo and she started a life. One of the things that she will tell you, if you have a private conversation with her, she will tell you that when she got to Waterloo, the expectations for education were higher in Durant, Mississippi. And so she has spent an eternity raising expectations for our students, but doing so in a way that always led with love. And you'll see that in her day-to-day today. She has a house that is in the middle of the east side, right, like 3 minutes away from George Washington Carver, and she will call me up on a Saturday or a Sunday and be like, Ben, I just want to let you know this happened in the community and this is what's going on. And she is just a godsend of a human being. She's, like I said, originally, and she started out as a student services director. I don't know if this is true or not, but in my mind it is. My first memory of her is telling me that she kind of started that every student in Waterloo gets a free lunch. I don't know if that's, again, I tried to press her on this today and she doesn't really answer me very carefully, but she kind of deflected. But I know that she was there for about 20 years ago. And if that's true, Dr. Smith, you've talked about being a free and reduced lunch student kind of hiding back at Hoover so that no one could see that. But she took away that stigma. When we talk about we take away systemic barriers, think about what that has done for our students in Waterloo schools. That has allowed them the privilege to say, ugh, that's gross at lunch for the first time in their life. And if you do the numbers, if it's true that she did that almost 20 some years ago, that would be almost 25,000 students from the months of August to May that get a hot meal throughout the day that don't have to worry about being food insecure. Almost 25,000 individual people. What do we have, about 75 in here right now? 25,000 kids, K through 12, that don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from because of this woman. And I would be remiss if I didn't take an opportunity to say thank you, and that she is an indelible part of what makes Carver and is an exceptional addition to our culture. These young people are living legacies of what we're trying to do, and I really appreciate your guys' time.
Yeah. While they're doing that, go ahead and take it with them. We'll stay seated. We'll try to give you some theme music. But Mr. Barnett, you kind of did us all in with that last little bit. We truly enjoy, and this is for the Lowell presentation as well. We truly enjoy hearing about these board celebrations and all the great things that the students are doing. Trayvon, you would come stand in front of me and can't nobody see me. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll get you later. But we truly enjoy hearing the great things that these students are doing, and staff and administration that are doing within our district. But while all these people are here, because I'm sure it'll clear out here before we get to our board comments, but I do want to address that last little piece that you mentioned and Ms. Cora Turner and what she has meant, not only to our community, but in our district, but me as well. I was one of those students that, you know, was a free and reduced lunch student, and the relationship and things that go on in the district, that's one of the people that I bounce, you know, things off of, just because she's a wealth of knowledge. Wasn't expecting this right now at this moment. I know we'll have an opportunity to salute her when that time comes, but I did want to say a little bit about that while everybody was still here. So now we'll take a quick picture and we'll get on with our board meeting. Oh, I'm good. I'm good now.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, great job. Great job, Carver.
Good job.
It was worth the addition. That brings us to the next item on our agenda, information from individuals and delegations. This is the opportunity where those who wish to address the school board may do so. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Mrs. Arndorfer will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds remaining and a red card when your time has expired. At that time, I will ask you to conclude your public remarks. Please also keep your comments respectful and constructive. We're all here with the goal of trying to help our students. Please also avoid criticizing the job performance of specific employees of the school district. Personnel matters are confidential and must be handled through proper channels and not in a public forum. Finally, we provide this as an opportunity for public comments, but it is generally not a back and forth discussion, especially of items that are not on our agenda. At times, we'll try to help when we can with information before or after the meeting, but we have to proceed with our board meeting agenda items. With that being said, I would like to invite anyone who wishes to address the board to come up to the microphone, make sure the green light is on, and start by stating your name and address. Going once. Going. You were close.
Very close. Hi everyone, my name is Hector Salamanca Arroyo, 834 Williston Avenue. I am here as a sitting councilman for Ward 5. Want to introduce myself to the school board. I know my ward covers several high schools, middle schools, and just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you have any upcoming events, please feel free to include me. I'm an open book, more than happy to attend any school-related activities, and more than anything, just want to be a good connector to the city and to the school board. So thanks so much and appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Councilman Hector. Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board this evening? Seeing none, we'll move on with our agenda. The next item on our agenda is the West High journalism students to Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve travel for West High's journalism students to Minneapolis, Minnesota to attend the JEA National Journalism Convention from April 15th through the 18th, 2026.
So moved.
All right. And we have Ms. Nicole Goodman here of West High School to give us a little bit more information about this journey.
There we go. Okay, hello. My name is Nicole Goodman, and I have the privilege of teaching at West High, where I oversee our journalism program and teach yearbook and newspaper. I'm going to have the students introduce themselves, and then, like Astor said, we are seeking approval to travel to Minneapolis, but we also want to take this opportunity to share some awesome things that are happening and celebrate with you all a little bit. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and then we'll share our exciting news.
My name is Brooklyn Barumes. I'm a senior at West.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Johnson, and I'm a junior at West.
Hi, my name's JC Gomez, and I'm a senior at West.
My name is Jay, and I'm a senior at West.
All right, the first thing we want to share, if you haven't seen the news, we have the 2026 Iowa Journalist of the Year, which is super exciting. So some exciting news. We have Brooklyn here with us. We're not going to necessarily read this entire blurb out loud, but this is what IHSPA, the Iowa High School Press Association, put out. And Brooklyn has been on our yearbook staff for 3 years. This year she is the co-editor-in-chief, and she also joined our newspaper staff this year. She is an absolute rock star and plans on pursuing journalism beyond high school. And the opportunities that we've been able to provide through you all and through our district have really kind of set her up for success. One thing I did want to read that IHSPA wrote that their judging panel said about Brooklyn that I thought really kind of it was really nice. The judging committee stated, "We see in Brooklyn Broom as a strong leader who exhibits some of scholastic journalism's greatest traits, telling stories that matter through words and photographs, leading and teaching others to do this work at a high level, and taking huge steps outside what has been her comfort zone to explore the world and tell the world about it. She's on a personal journey of overcoming shyness and finding her voice as a leader and teacher for the Wahawk Yearbook and Wahawk Insider. Her story is inspiring. How important can high school journalism be? It changed her life," one of the judges said about Brooklyn during deliberations on the award. And I thought that was a super kind and sweet, but a testament to Brooklyn and a testament to what she's been able to do within our program.
So I've been a part of Wahawk Insider, the student news source of West High, for 3 years now. So I've seen the past 2 Iowa Journalists of the Year, Allison Parkhurst and Kaylin Crawford, go through as well. So becoming the Iowa Journalist of the Year is not an easy feat at all. I've seen like the hard work goes through every single year, and it's very rare that 1 or even 2 or 3 gets chosen from the same school, especially 3 years in a row. So it's a very big deal, especially for someone from West High. Sorry, I didn't look at this before. So this is the First Amendment Press Freedom Award from JEA. It's the 26th year of this award, so it's awarded to 26 schools from 12 U.S. states and the United Kingdom. So we were chosen to be one of those schools to win the award, and we were the only school chosen in Iowa. So it's an award chosen to schools that really represent the First Amendment in the articles that we publish, and we really show that we honor what the First Amendment really means to us in the press. So it's a big deal.
So, a couple weeks ago was Scholastic Journalism Week, and on February 23rd, which was on Thursday, and we didn't have school that Thursday, but I decided to celebrate Student Press Freedom Day that Wednesday. I organized a presentation campaign for classrooms at West. I presented to 9 different classrooms across the school day, and I talked about Tinker versus Des Moines, which was a Supreme Court case that declared that students do not shed their First Amendment rights at the doors of a school building, and it honored students' First Amendment rights right here in Des Moines in Iowa. And it's very cool to know that Iowa has a big part of history in journalism, because this is a case that is referenced a lot in scholastic journalism. During passing periods and in the classes I talked to, I did hand out black armbands with peace signs like the ones that the Tinkers wore in Tinker versus Des Moines, and they look like these. I spent countless hours ironing them on, cutting out the fabric. These are all handmade, and I made over 350 of them. So, but yeah, and at the end of our presentation, I do have bands to share with you guys so we can take a picture with them. Thanks.
There's a photo of everyone.
Yes, this is a group picture. I think on your left is our yearbook class, and on the right is our Wahawk Insider class.
So this year, the yearbook team won Walsworth Gallery of Excellence Award. So this award is just from last year's book, the 24-25 yearbook. The Walsworth Gallery of Excellence Award is a prestigious distinction which honors the highest caliber of yearbooks. Walsworth prints only. Only a small percentage of books, Walsworth prints only again, achieves this recognition. Walsworth, the yearbook's president, Don Walsworth, wrote in a letter to the Wahawk yearbook staff. So this is a book where other yearbooks look at. It's called the Possibilities book. So it's like a whole national book, and every Walsworth published school, they look at this book for inspiration, and there's a good chance that we might be in it. So it's a big deal for our publication to be part of it, because so many little schools get in this book, and the fact that we're part of that book is a great deal to us.
As Jay said, this is a big deal for us. Our company representative actually came to us last week, and she actually shared that we were only one of few schools in Iowa that made it into this book. And that's really cool for us, because creating this yearbook was really taxing on the editors pictured here. Due to unforeseen circumstances, there were production delays, and so we were the ones who really had to deal with that. And so just knowing that we put so much time and effort into this, and over the summer we spent so many hours in school working on this and at home working on it, just to know that our work is recognized nationally among the best of the best, like schools in California or in Texas, it's just really cool, because oftentimes the Midwest really gets looked over, especially Iowa. And when it comes to journalism, no one really thinks of Iowa because we're just kind of here in the middle. But once again, it was just a really great opportunity for us, and to know that our book was good enough that other schools are going to use us as inspiration is just amazing.
Okay. So Best of Snow is like a distinguished site. So when we make articles, we can submit them to a website, and they can make sure, or they go through it and they pick like a really good one. Yeah, and so we have 8 articles on Wahawk Insider that have been accepted and published on Best of Snow. So only about 10 to 15% of submissions are selected. So that's how few are selected, and we have 8. So that's really good. Yeah, that's just this year. On the side, I think that's your right side. There's 3 of our articles. Each one is about something unique and different that they picked out. Here is 5 more that got picked. And so, yeah.
So this year, our team, we've decided to have a media day. So in school, so sports media days. This year, we've created a backdrop for media days with different sports teams, so that it gives athletes opportunity for some free photos. Our journalism class and program to take free photos, practice them, because every day you get better and only by taking photos. We use these graphics or these photos to create game day graphics and other material. This was just started up right by winter, so our first team that we practiced with is the girls tennis team. Beginning of the media day, it was pretty rough because you had to email coaches maybe a week or 2 ahead, and they didn't really get it. So there's some communication errors, which was always fun to get around with. But at the end of the day, we always got it done. We've spent countless of hours after school figuring out how to design the backdrop. We plan on using this for future uses. I've already hopefully plan on doing like summer sports. We've done it with boys track recently, and we're gonna do it with girls track. It's come out pretty successful. Every time we do it, it's always gotten more efficient. First time it took us maybe 2 hours to do it. And with the boys track team, they've given us 20 and we did it within 30 minutes. So we've been pretty efficient with it, with only using one camera, one backdrop, and we even hold in the West High cafeteria. So we try to be really resourceful with what we have, and it's come out really good for us. And I haven't really heard anything bad from the athletes themselves. So I think we'll probably keep doing it.
Here are some of the photos that we got from that. And then these are some of the game day graphics we make from those. I'm the social media editor for Wahawk Insider, and so we take those photos and we make our own graphics for the social media just to look cool, and so people know when the meet days are, and we can have people coming to the meet days and seeing everything. And so having these, having the game day graphics are like really beneficial for us.
So we want to celebrate all those things with you all, but we also are seeking approval to travel to the National High School Journalism Convention. And so last year we were, what's the word I'm looking for? We're very excited to earn the approval to travel all the way to Seattle, which is a much larger trek than this year. This year, we're fortunate that it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so drivable and about half the cost. But with Brooklyn specifically winning Iowa Journalist of the Year, she now gets to compete for the national competition. And so she gets to represent all of Iowa at this national convention. But the convention is more than just that one competition. There's a lot of hands-on opportunities for students to learn from industry professionals, to get hands-on reporting. Last year, we had JC and two other students. They kind of had a contest where one day they got to report on the Seattle Public Library, where they had to interview, write, make videos, graphics, and publish all within one day. And so a lot of like industry realistic kind of opportunities for them to learn. And so there's opportunities within design, photography, videography, writing, pretty much anything you can think of. And so we are seeking approval to travel. Students are applying for some scholarships through JEA, which would cover the cost of their like registration. But then beyond that, our only, what's the word I'm looking for? Wow. The only cost, thank you, would be our hotel, and our travel is very cheap in taking school vans, and then any kind of food or anything on top of that. So last year we were looking at about 900 a student with the flights to Seattle. This year, when we've crunched the numbers, we're looking at about 400 a student. And through some preliminary fundraising they've done, we've already got it down to 300 a student. So our goal is to cover the entire cost of our fundraising efforts. And then any cost that isn't fundraised in-house will be on the students. So last year, even with it being 900 a student, we were able to fundraise the entire trip through their hard work. So we're very optimistic we'll be able to do the same this year, pending your approval, of course.
I know we normally don't comment when it's just a vote. We can, but I do want to say it says a lot that your program has had the last 3 Iowa Journalists of the Year. And I know firsthand how that is and how that comes about. I had the opportunity to be interviewed from a student, and it wasn't about the board. It was about officiating and photography. And then I kind of overheard, I talked to a young man that was interviewing one of our own administrators just last week, I believe on Thursday. And I see that person in the back room, in the back there. But just knowing what they put in to what they're doing. They're very professional. I think I got contacted about 3 or 4 times. I think I interviewed on a Friday afternoon. Most people are ready to hang it up and start their weekend, but that just shows the dedication of those students and what they're putting into their craft, and what type of program that you have that these students are accomplishing so much and bringing light to the Waterloo Community School District and West High journalism. And it's just kudos to you and your program. We enjoy you guys coming, telling us all about your many awards that you've won, and all the accomplishments that you've received. So, it's not all about the students. Sometimes it's about those individuals that are in leadership positions that pour into those students as well. So, kudos to you for having those students follow you and you giving them what they need to be successful as well. So, to the whole program. West High and the journalism program and the students that continue to make us proud. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Goodman, what year was the program resurrected?
This is our fourth year.
It's just the fourth,
yes,
right?
of having our newspaper back.
So it only took a year for you to start churning out Iowa Journalists of the Year. And we were lucky enough to have daughters who were in your program, and it changed who they were. Miss Brooklyn, by the way, would it be okay if I came in tomorrow so that we could finish what we were? Okay. And then, are you guys still doing the magazine?
The magazine has kind of been in a weird spot. So we try to cover the cost of that by selling ads. And we've kind of been in a tough spot of selling ads where a lot of businesses are not as interested in doing that. So we're trying to figure out other ways to bring in sourcing, or if we go to digital for right now. But we did do it as of last spring. We have not done one this year, just kind of where we're at with that.
I just want to thank you for what you've done. And you guys obviously know how amazing Ms. Goodman is and how amazing you all are. And I'm so excited for you to get to go. Excited to see what happens. How many kids are going?
As of right now, we have 11, well, not as of right now, with the permission slips that were required to be turned in, we have 11 students going.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see when you come back too.
Can I quickly just add?
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
sorry. That professionalism carries when they go to college, because we have, I know for sure, 2 students at Wartburg College that are doing an awesome job with our communication and marketing department. So I appreciate you and your kudos, because it definitely carries on. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and kiddos, how many of us were on yearbook or magazine when we were in school? And so was Janelle. So it is something that it affects what you do when you get older. So
Could you just
So
comment? Could the students just comment on the career path that they're on and how this experience has kind of affected that direction?
So after high school, I do actually plan to major in journalism. Right now, I'm still kind of split on where I want to go, but right now I'm leaning towards the University of Iowa. Yeah, and through IHSPA, which is our state press association for high schoolers, the University of Iowa kind of plays a really big part in that, and so I kind of already have a foot in there, so.
I don't know what I want to, where I want to go yet, but I definitely am leaning towards journalism right now, or communications. Just after being in this program for so long, it really changes how you look at things and how you want to do things. And I also want to go for Journalism of the Year next year, so hopefully we'll see. But just how this program has changed my life so immaculately, and Goodman, and yeah.
I plan on going to the Air Force. With the journalism program, it's really helped me push out of my comfort zone and talk to people, new people, try to take advantage of opportunities. I didn't really say this earlier, but we're getting in touch with you and I, the assistant director of communications, Joel Waters. We can set up a job shadow with him anytime as soon as we email him. We've talked to Coralville Team Heartlanders, a hockey team by Coralville, and they've let us take photos of their events, of their hockey games for free, just for job shadowing opportunities. So that type of stuff has really pushed me out of my comfort zone to talk to people and communicate with people. And it's sometimes mentally burning out. I mentally burn out a lot because of writing, but Miss Goodman really helps out push through that. So
Nice.
I'm still waiting to hear back from the University of Michigan, but I plan to major in biochemistry and minor in journalism.
I do have one more thing to add. I know Jay and Mackenzie kind of touched on it, but we wouldn't be able to have the confidence to do what we do without Miss Goodman. And she's truly reshaped this program, and she shaped us into the people we are today. And without this program and without Miss Goodman and her confidence, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
All right, I think we're ready for a vote. Yep, go ahead.
And I'll just echo Stacy's comment. It's definitely my daughter who went through. It's been transformational for her, seeing it how she was inspired and come through. So I can't say enough about what you're doing for the students, and I mean, making a difference there. And I just hope we're primarily about is doing great things for students. So congratulations and great job for all you're doing.
And even if you guys don't do like journalism, like Mallory is doing, she has her own like radio hour at UNI. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can look into. I bet the Air Force has stuff that you can use. So just like get your fingers in there.
All right, we're ready for a vote? All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye. Aye. Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck,
Yes,
guys.
Like Brooklyn said, she did make an armband for each of you, and we'd love a group photo if you guys are down for that or okay with that.
Guess we're going down there.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh.
This I just looked it up while you guys. This is legit. Looks exactly like what they have.
I spent hours with a cricket cutting every single piece sign out.
It was a good lesson, though. Reach out to feedback, send an interview tomorrow. Okay. All right, we're ready.
Oh, I did. Okay, thank you. That's so cool.
You should see if you haven't seen this yearbook, you should see the article they did on James and his NASA thing.
Did they really?
Oh, they gave him the full page. It's amazing.
Are we ready to rock?
It's just an amazing job they did.
Okay. Yeah, she could keep them. Okay, we're back. The next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of 6 items. Item 1, approval of minutes of the February 23rd, 2026 regular board meeting. Item 2, personnel appointments and adjustments. Item 3, bills due and payable and bills paid between board meetings. Item 4, memorandum of understanding between Waterloo Schools and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Item 5, informal resolution IPIB. Item 6, set date of public hearing for the 2026-2027 school district calendar. Are there any items that board members want to see removed?
4.
Item 4.
And 2.
Item 2. Are there any others? Hearing none others, can I get a motion to approve items 1, 3, 5, and 6?
Second.
All those in favor of approving items 1, 3, 5, and 6, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That brings us to item 2. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the personnel items as listed.
I move to divide the question into 2 parts. Part 1 is the recommendation as stated minus change of assignments administrator. And item 2 is all else, or this item. The original item minus the exception.
And I believe this calls for a roll call vote.
Mm-hmm.
Director Mills? Director Knight?
Aye.
Director Cox?
Aye.
Director Matlock?
Aye.
Director Ewing?
No.
Director Schmidt?
Aye.
Chair, aye. So we'll divide the question. So
Part 1 is all except.
Yep. So part 1 of the personnel appointments and adjustments, except with the exclusion of the change of assignments, it is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the personnel items as listed.
So moved.
All those in favor state aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That brings us to the second part of the personnel appointments and adjustment, the change of assignments. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the personnel item as listed.
So moved.
All those in favor state aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay. Chair votes aye. So there's. Did we get a vote, Janelle?
Yes, sir. I voted aye.
Okay. All right. So motion carries. That brings us to the next item on our agenda. The memorandum of understanding between the Waterloo Schools and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education, let me find it.
39.
You see it? Technology. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between the Waterloo Schools and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated for programming at Carver Academy.
Second.
Okay, and I see we have, I think Mr. Barnett is still here. You want to come up to the microphone, sir? And I see the gentleman. He looks like a Sigma with the blue jacket on. We know a little bit about the Divine Nine.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Brady Talley, member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I also serve as the Great Lakes Regional Director of Education, and also a charter member here in Waterloo, Iowa, the Tau Psi Sigma chapter. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Mr. Barnett. I'm the principal here at George Washington Carver Academy. Excited to be here. Excited to stand next to Brother Talley.
All right, I can probably give it a little light. Mr. Talley, I don't think we've met personally, but when I got a phone call from a district employee who's a member of your fraternity, he does some coaching in the district, and I was excited to hear that your organization, if I mention a few names of some of the gentlemen that are part of your fraternity, I think the community and the people that are listening would know what type of organization that you run just by the character of men that represent your organization and your fraternity. I will mention a couple just so to put some reference to it. I hope that's okay. Mr. Corey Johnson is a member of your fraternity. Mr. Terrence T.C. Campbell, Mr. Marshall Frazier. So all those names ring in this community and the work that they're doing in the community. And to hear that you wanted to partner with George Washington Carver. You know, I try to be as impartial as possible, but the need and the impact that I feel your organization will have on that building and those students and that staff, I can't really put into words how I felt. I was actually on vacation when he shot me a text message, and with Mr. Frazier, I never know what it is he wants. So it was good. Normally it's something, maybe not good, but hearing that, I immediately got excited and look forward to seeing all the great things that you guys plan on doing with that school and that community, because it's needed. I truly appreciate just the initiative that you're taking, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So I'll get the chance to talk to the fellas when I see him. But go ahead, sir.
I just wanted to also add that Dr. George Washington Carver was a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity.
Oh, nice. Nice. I didn't know that. Okay. All right, beautiful. I mean, it just aligns.
Can you just do like a quick little snippet of what you're going to be doing?
Sure. Okay, so our Adopt a School initiative started in 2013 after the conclave of 2013 in Philadelphia. And what it was is our motto is culture for service and service for humanity. And what we felt is that through education is power for all people, right? So adopting a school, being into the school of our community in which we serve, to be not only mentors, the majority of us are teachers. I work at Iowa State University, where I work as the director of military affiliated student centers. I've been in education for 19 years, so I'm an educator. And that's the essence of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. We give back because that is our legacy for our future. So that's why we do the Adopt a School, where we want to make sure that we're positive influences, that we go in and we have a literacy. STEM, we saw STEM, we do that as well, and many other objectives and incentives that we try to give to help
promote and push students forward.
Once you're in this building, could you like send me a date of when stuff's gonna happen so I can come in? I'd love it.
Sure will.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say thank you in advance for your service. I bring you greetings for the Waterloo Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Thank you.
I know that it's a non-fiduciary 2-year agreement that we have with this program, and they're adopting us as a school. And so we have a really great partnership here, we have a great foundation to build a partnership in which their influence can directly impact our students at our school. We're really excited to begin. So.
And we give out scholarships.
Yeah. Yeah. We always love hearing that. us educators. Free money. So, and this is just, oh, wow. Okay. Anything else? All right. So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, I was late. Aye.
Don't worry about it. I'm learning. Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. That brings us to the next item on our agenda, the Wide Area Network WAN service. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the 5-year WAN dark fiber service proposal from Mediacom as presented per the attached bid summary and bid evaluation.
So moved.
Oh, by the time I look up, you're already there. I love it.
And I know you love when I have items before you because you always get to say lots of techie jargon, which I'm sure is your favorite thing to do, right?
Right. But you explain it so well, though. So.
I appreciate it. So I'll give that a shot tonight. And I did want to apologize that the contract wasn't in your paper board packet. I'll be honest, I had a heck of a time actually getting to a contract that we found acceptable with Mediacom. So we were kind of pressing that to the last minute. But I needed to get this before you tonight just for E-rate purposes, which we'll talk about in just a second. So wide area network is really kind of the backbone of how everything works from a technology perspective. So it is the fiber optics that connects all of our buildings together. So without it, there would be no internet, there'd be no phones, there'd be no security cameras. Pretty much anything that works on technology would not work without the fiber optics that connect all of our buildings together. So it's pretty important. We, for over the last 2 decades, have had a WAN, a fiber optic wide area network that has been provided by Mediacom, and that is actually left over from an old original franchise agreement with the city of Waterloo that had a provision that they would provide that to us in that agreement. That franchise agreement has no longer been in effect for many years now, and Mediacom has now had notified us that they intended to no longer provide that service to us that they had been providing to us, which they were previously obliged to do. And because that franchise agreement was no longer in effect, they're no longer obligated to do so. So the good news is I believe the board is familiar with the E-rate program. The E-rate program, which I brought some items to you last time that we're applying for E-rate funds for. E-rate will also allow us to apply for funds to assist with this expense as well. So ultimately, this, while the contract value is much greater than money we were paying in the past we were just paying a very small monthly maintenance fee. The actual fiber itself was free. So obviously some cost is a lot greater than no cost, but pending that we're successful with E-rate funding, then the actual cost to the district under this agreement will actually go down compared to that monthly maintenance fee that we had been buying in the past. So it was not a great situation that has turned into being an okay situation, at least in terms of the district's actual budget.
So what's the difference between the The old MediaCom we've been using and this?
There is no difference other than contract, quite honestly. So
It's the same fiber?
It's the same fiber. And quite honestly, that's why if you look at the bids we received, MediaCom's bid was substantially lower. It's because they already have the infrastructure in place. The fiber is already in place. So it's just a new contract for the fiber that they had been previously offering us.
But it's a contract directly with MediaCom.
Correct. Which we did have, so it was kind of complicated. Under the old arrangement, it was written into the city's franchise agreement that they had to provide this to us. Separately, I actually did dig up from the early 2000s an agreement that MediaCom had actually signed with the board at that time as well. So they had both contracts, so to speak, as part of the franchise agreement, as well as one with the school district. So it's basically a new contract.
So will this ever be wireless?
You know, in technology, you don't ever want to say never, but for a backbone service such as this, the speeds that we're talking about, there just isn't wireless technology that would be able to do that.
Not anytime soon.
And I don't see that happening
I know
anytime soon.
some of our buildings are really good structured for wireless anyway.
Yeah,
At least
I mean,
older buildings.
this is truly a point to point. So, you know, you'd really need some line of sight or something along those lines. So that just, who knows in the future, but not in the immediate future.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Are there any more questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That brings us to the next item on our agenda, and it's just for information only. It is financial information. Our own JT Anderson, CFO, is here to give us a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, so in your board packet, these are the monthly financials as of December 31st of 2025. We went through November last, or a couple board meetings ago, but I'll hit on some high points here as they relate to December. Year-to-date general fund revenues are up 10% from last year, and that's primarily an increase of property taxes as well as state aid. And year-to-date general fund expenses are down 6.5%. Salaries are down 3.7%, benefits down 2.3%, supplies are down 17%. Again, this is year-to-date, so we're comparing December 31st of 2025 to December 31st of 2024. So, long story short, we're trending in the right direction, both on the revenue side and the expense side, to close that deficit gap. If you look at PEPL, again, you'll see a negative fund balance there of $244,000, as we discussed the last time. This is a property tax fund, so all the revenues property tax related. We get that in two primary installments in October and April, and so most of those expenses are front loaded in the kind of July and August timeframe. So the revenues will catch up to these expenses, and that fund balance will be positive by the time we get to the end of the year.
So we'll receive about 50% in April. It's just two payments.
Primarily, yeah. Yep. And then just to point out the SAVE fund again, that's primarily where our One High School project is located, and the finances are in that fund. So that continues to. We have a large fund balance, but it is depleting as we pay for our construction costs.
Is the revenue, is that interest? What's in the revenue?
Well, we still receive our, our monthly sales tax
Yeah.
funds.
Oh,
Yeah, for SAVE.
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And
then
that is
and there's
tracking.
interest as well.
And that is tracking fairly well.
Yep. Yeah. Actually better than I
Yeah.
thought it would.
I think they estimated 104% this year, and
Yep.
it's slightly above that. So
Yep.
so far so good.
Yep. So yeah, that's trending in the right direction as well. So that's all good news. As I was looking at what was in their board packet, for whatever reason, I failed to put in the cash report that I usually do. So I just wanted to touch on that since you don't have it in front of you. But just comparing Our cash balance as of December 31st, again, we have just over $87.5 million of cash, but $75 million is related to save and the one project. So when we allocate to the rest of the funds, there's about $12 million. Specifically in the general fund, there's about $4.7 million cash balance as of December 31st in the general fund. Yep. And when you compare that to last year, we had a cash balance of $11.7 million last year. So we're down $7 million from where we were a year ago, which we knew that. We have a line of credit whenever we do have a pinch in cash. But I can tell you as of December 31st, that line of credit balance is zero. So we don't have any cash right now outstanding.
So is it too early to estimate when the save will be depleted to the point we need to have another bond?
Yeah, we're looking at, and actually Tim Oswald is coming to the next finance committee meeting in March. So we'll go through kind of the next steps with the finance committee at that time, but probably late summer, early fall, we'll target another issuance. But just again, for the board members, I know I sent this to the finance committee, but for all board members, just understand that there's property tax reform language in the legislature right now. And the governor's proposal does have some save language that would be detrimental to not only to the Waterloo, but to a lot of schools statewide. So if that were to come to fruition, that would not be a good thing for us. So reach out to your legislators and advocate for just leave save alone, basically.
Is the proposal for the state to fund the additional levy, is that still in the works?
That has passed. So the budget guarantee is funded. That was included in the 2% school funding bill. So that did pass.
So that will reduce property tax.
It means that the budget guarantee will be paid by the state, but our overall tax levy, as we said, will remain the same. So we can have that cash reserve levy, additional cash reserve levy to help build up our reserves, which again is negative at the end of the year. So
that's good news.
That is good news. But like I said, the urgent piece is the property tax reform legislation. Again, that would be a big deal if that were to pass. So.
Like when do we, what's the time frame before they have to make that decision?
They're talking about it right now. So there's 3 different proposals. The governor has her proposal, the Senate has theirs, and then the House has their proposal. And they're very, very different actually. So they're, in committee right now, kind of talking about kind of where they're going to reach middle ground. But the governor's proposal is the only one that has that major impact on save revenue. So,
okay.
Again, advocate against that if you have the opportunity. Any other questions? Yeah.
Thank you, JT.
Anything
Anything up here?
I did.
Yep, go ahead, Jess.
Just on the operating fund, you're talking about some more supply materials expenditures down. Any particular areas that are showing up, or is it just across the board? Or
it's across the board, and some of that's timing too. As when certain expenses were incurred last year as to this year, there's some that were expensed, in November of last year that haven't hit yet. So I don't expect that trend to necessarily stay at 17%, but it'll be a reduction, but probably a little bit lower than that 17%.
All right, any more questions for JT? Comments? Thank you, JT. Appreciate that. And that was just for information only. The next item on our agenda is board policy changes, second reading. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the following policies. Board member oath of office, ad hoc committees, Board of Directors, member development and training, administrator duties, administrator evaluation, administrator designee, succession to the superintendent, resident students, non-resident students, entrance admissions, attendance center assignment, attendance center assignment of students, pregnant students, students of legal age, student dress code, interviews of students by outside agencies, student government, student performances, philosophy of secondary athletics, off-premises activities, student social events, student progress reports and parent conferences, trespassing, student photographs, reserve military training for high school students, communicable diseases, student illness or injury at school, custody and parental rights, philosophy of high school athletics, dual enrollment, student conduct on school transportation, summer school program transportation, school bus safety instruction, public solicitation in schools, and news media relations.
Phew. Nicely done.
I need to get that motion.
Second.
You want to repeat those, please?
No. I almost went back to my stuttering problem there for a second.
The only comment that I wanted to make, unless there's any other questions, is that we did, after talking about it at the last meeting, we did add the philosophy of middle school and of high school students and put those under as a regulation. So good suggestion.
Thank you.
Are there any comments, questions on those? Thank you, Pam. As hard as it was for me to read those, Pam has been extremely instrumental in getting our policies up to date and fighting through these policies. So it was hard for me to read them, but even harder to go through them as well. So we appreciate Pam and the Policy Review Committee.
I've told y'all I geek out on policy a little bit, so this is kind of my jam.
So thank you to all the Policy Review Committee as well.
Just a question on. I'm just looking at the student progress reports and parent conferences. Have we taken a little more look at yet if middle school conferences should be? Middle school conferences should be separated out. Right now, they're just held by the homeroom teacher, and are not. They don't get to meet with parents. Don't get to meet with individual teachers in each of the sections.
They can go around though. I always did, right?
Only reason I say that because I show up to the parent conferences and that kind of thing, and so they literally, I was at Central and they literally had all the teachers right then and there, and they have their schedule, and so they can actually talk to each of the.
It wasn't like that when my kids went through.
So Jesse, I think you're referencing Hoover, and they do a student-led conference with their home reach teacher, and that is due to the Leader in Me expectations. Now, I also know that with Leader in Me, if you had maybe some specific questions or concerns with a specific teacher or class, that they would absolutely be willing to meet with you separate. But as of right now, with the Leader in Me just model and them being a lighthouse school, they're still running those conferences through that homeroom with that student-led conference. I just had one not too long ago. Sorry.
So we don't have a consistent method in middle school then.
I would say for Central, go ahead.
Central and I know Carver same way. They go around to each of the teachers and meet with them.
So what we're saying is that you have the opportunity or the ability to talk with teachers.
Absolutely.
At the other school if need be.
Yeah. And part of that, again, just going back to the lighthouse for Hoover, that was part of their expectations that it needed to be student led. I'm not quite as sure at Central and Carver if they do student led. And John, maybe you would talk more about that, but that was part of why those came into the origination of how they ran conferences.
I mean, they do have students involved. I think it's ran pretty good. I've been at both of them, and even the staff, they usually have something. I think Carver goes above and beyond. They have a place for be able to have extra clothes. So people that come in, they're able to, if there's some clothes they can take. But definitely everyone's on board of making sure every parent meets their teacher.
That's interesting. I didn't realize it was different between the buildings, but that's.
When I was at Hoover, well, my kids, because they were at the same time, there'd be the list on the outside of the door, and I would just go up to the room if there was nobody listed for that time, and they'd usually meet. But it wasn't, like we said, it wasn't like an official thing. So maybe we can just do something where parents are given like a little tutorial or something.
I mean, the tough thing there is if those same teachers also have their regular presentation. So I mean, if you had 800 families going around every room, you would never. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it seemed like it makes sense for Hoover.
Well, and I think I would just add, just have the advocacy side of things. From a parent standpoint, we have some amazing educators that outside of conference time, if you see things along the way that you feel like, hey, you have questions about, that communication with the teacher as well to set up a different time. I mean, conferences aren't the only 2 times a year that I want you to feel comfortable, or we wouldn't want you to feel comfortable just only at those 2 times, right? So I encourage every family member listening that if there are concerns along the way, or you feel like you're having a hard time getting and sitting down with a teacher, just let somebody know at the building, because I know they're working really hard and their time is limited as well. So they would never want you to feel as though they wouldn't want to sit down and talk about some of those opportunities. So yeah, noted though.
Yeah, sometimes it's just, it's not what you know, it's like maybe what you didn't know. Like sometimes if that was conversations help spur a realization that maybe something, oh, I didn't realize they needed help here, or struggling, or that's something we could work on, or so I value the interpersonal communication. Even I fully support that they should be meeting outside of don't wait to conference. At the same time, it's helping establish some relationships with their teachers will help help set them, prepare them for the next level in high school when they're and maybe it's something I don't know what we've looked at for what 8, 9 will look like in the future too, and how that conference structure would be, because that would be different for 8th graders now. So,
All right. Good conversation. All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
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 Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried.
I have a question before we move on, and this is a weird thing, but according to Robert's rules, after a vote we had today, my heart has just been trying to go over it. And if people who voted yes, if one of them can move, it's seconded, and they vote yes, that we can go back and then we can vote again on something. I would like to go back and look at the personnel vote that was pulled separate.
I'm still new in my journey of being board chair.
So it would take.
That's new for me.
It would take one of the people who voted yes to make the motion, and then it would have to be seconded by one of them, and then the people who voted yes would have to say yes that they can do that. It's a weird one. If you look under Robert's rules, it's an odd one. But in Iowa for school boards, you can. My heart has just been speaking in my brain throughout this entire time, and yeah.
Is it?
It's a motion to reconsider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me about 30 seconds.
Okay. I know it's a weirdo, but it just has to be done before the meeting's over.
It's a,
Oh,
We're trying to make sure the wording.
okay, gotcha,
We're trying to make sure the wording aligns with the request.
gotcha.
So we're gonna place pause for a second. We don't want to.
Okay.
We want to be decent and in order.
Yeah.
So if you can bear with us for 30 seconds.
Leave it to me to do something weird.
That's why we have technology, yes. So a motion to reconsider must be made by a member who voted on the prevailing side on the same day the original vote occurred or next business day. So do we have who?
reconsider part 2 of
It would be who? Right, it wouldn't be the votes, it would be the motion.
it needs a motion and a second by,
Yeah, so whoever motioned in second.
by the prevailing
Gotcha.
side.
So that would be Jesse, Janelle, Crystal.
And they need a majority.
Okay,
Yeah.
And we need a majority vote to reconsider.
okay.
Yep.
So can we get a motion to reconsider the change of assignments from the previous, from the personnel change of assignments? It has to be one of the 5.
Reconsider part 2
Part 2, excuse me, yes.
of
Yes,
the
of the personnel.
personnel. The divided question of item 2 personnel.
I need to repeat all that.
No.
Can we get a motion to reconsider part 2 of the personnel appointments and adjustments? I know. The personnel appointments and adjustments. Change of assignments. Part 2. Seeing no motion, we'll carry on. That ends our action items for the evening. And now on to the superintendent's report.
All right. Got 3 updates here real quick. First, really enjoyed tonight's student presentations. What was cool was we had 3 different presentations from 3 different grade levels, 1 elementary, 1 middle school, 1 high school, all from 3 different parts of town too. So, and 3 different kind of approaches. So it was really cool to see, and just, I could just feel the vibes in the room were very positive and hopeful and optimistic, and just kind of gauging the reaction of the board. It was just good. Well delivered. So thank you. Number 2 is, I always try to make special mention if somebody, important in the community has passed away, and Jim Waterbury was a very instrumental in a lot of things. He was on a number. Actually, growing up, I used to see him on KWW all the time. I think he was, I don't know what his position was, CEO, I don't know. And I grew up with his son, and I just know he was always a huge advocate of the Waterloo schools. A trustee on the McElroy, who we just presented to, a few months ago. So just and I know we had some people who were, we just got awarded $200,000 from McElroy, and Mr. Waterbury was a huge part of that. So just prayers and thoughts and prayers with his family, and through all that's going on. Last but not least, I am going to just quickly talk about the high school principal hire. First and foremost, I do feel good about the process we went through. Kudos to you, Sam, for just the process that you put together. Like we've said before, is a very high profile position for us. And so it was important that we really made it as rigorous as possible. And I feel good about, with the guidance from the board a little bit on what that should look like. And I know Zach left, but I just want to say we're super excited about the future. Could not be, we got so many things planned. We had a meeting last week talking about numbers at the WCC, and we brought Zach in there just to kind of let him hear some of that conversation, and really feel good about our next steps there and all that's going on. And Zach's going to do a great job. He's done a great job at Bunger for the last 3.5 years. The data there looks really good, and he's just, like I said, I feel good. I know it's leap of faith a little bit with somebody not knowing exactly what they're going to bring in, but we really feel good as a team about what Zach is going to bring to the position. So just want to thank the board for approving that, and we're ready to move on with our next step. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. For board comments this evening, we'll go to Director Knight.
Well, I just wanted to, again, just congratulate the journalism department. I know they're at West High there, and we hope they have a great success to their trip there. What they have accomplished in 4 years is pretty amazing, and it's been impactful for two of my children and the work they've done there, and different ways. And so we just appreciate all that's being done there, and you really just it's one thing just be recognized, but you recognize on the state level and go. I mean, I don't know when the last time we had free of anything get that win state of anything. What's like at any level, and now we're sending. I guess it'd be bowling would be like the last thing it's been that level of success. I mean, so it's just pretty amazing, and the fact that it's rotating. Not like you had one person there; it was every year. You got pretty unique individuals now who have done that, and then a lot of us contributing supporters as well in that program. So, just congratulations, and look forward to just the continued success there.
Thank you, Director Knight. Director Cox.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations there with, again, about the kids. We talk about quality, and I think there's some real high quality when it comes to journalism. Sometimes it's easy to say, oh yeah, they win this, they win that. So we had high quality before they even started. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing on the simple fact that dedicated teachers communicating to students wanting to be part of it. And I think that's kind of what I just want to kind of make sure we don't lose sight of, because those students are amazing, but as I mentioned about with Miss Goodman, think about all the hours she put into this. I'm a coach myself, and you put a lot of hours into kids that you normally don't get a chance to. I had the opportunity to, I went to Expo, and I came out there just amazing. Met a few kids I met this one particular young man, and I was looking for my notes and I can't find it, but this dude was amazing. I mean, he was taking, if I can remember right, he was taking some classes. They're online, have enough to graduate, still going to come back and with the Career Center, take, I think it was electrician, welder, being a welder. he was a young man that just took advantage of what we provided. And, you know, meeting another student that, you know, I was in the, where they do the hair. So, cosmetology, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Are you there for a haircut?
Cedric will fix it right up.
Okay. 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 As I was talking with, is it Cedric? They were doing facials, I think this coming week. And so, one of the students, I'm going to volunteer to get a facial, from it. And
can we watch?
But the thing that I want to get at is the fact that as I was talking to him, he mentioned about how many kids that have went through cosmetology and they went on to barber school or other, like with the nails and that kind of thing. And he still keeps in touch with the ones that are also doing that. I would love to be able to get some tracking some of those numbers, because we need to put a good light, whatever we can put a good light on, let's put a good light on it. You know, we need to start seeking this district of what good lights are, where they at. Let's go find them and then expose them, put them out there. Lastly, the presentation. So I'm a little partial to Carver. 7th grade basketball. I was assistant. but I can honestly say each of those students I see on Tuesday and Thursday, they put a smile on your face. They make you put a smile on your face. They make you think that, you know, there is, you know, we hear all the bad things, but you know what? There's some students out there plugging along, doing some positive things. And so I just want to just kind of point that out. And, you know, the biggest thing, you know, parents that are, you know, I was at the parent conferences. Parents that showed up, congratulations. But I'm going to also put out there, we need more parents. We need more. We need more parents involved. We got a dedicated teaching staff, dedicated DLT team, we got dedicated overall district. But parents, we got to work as a team. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Director Cox. Director Ewing.
Thank you, folks. Sorry I can't be there. There's not enough that can be said about Jim Waterbury. As a father, as a husband, Jim and Carol were a model of marriage. As a father, he was a model of father to Libby and Dan. And as a community member, and as a fighter, and as an advocate, and as a teacher, we lost something so much when he passed. As a fundraiser, as a speaker, as an advocate for Waterloo schools, as an advocate for the fine arts. What a man. What a man. A man I will always look up to. A man I will always try to model things that I do on. And what a loss for our community. Was very sorry that I could not be at his memorial since I had a planned vacation. But thanks to Jared for speaking of him. And we are somewhat lesser today because we've lost him. And the world is somewhat lesser today because the world lost him. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Director Ewing. Thank you, Director Ewing. That was a mic drop. Director Mills.
So to my fellow board members, I do have a presentation I would like to share with you guys at some point, if you all could make a few moments about things that we can do to develop and grow. I'm sad that I was not allowed to vote again. My heart has been speaking prayerfully to me that I wanted to be able to let the community know that I do support Mr. O'Brien in the role that he will be doing. So it is what it is. Friday, I had a visit at Bunker. I was invited by Miss Farrell and Miss Gardner. So Miss Farrell is a CTE teacher. I got to go to 2 6th grade classes to watch the sheep brain dissection, which was pretty cool. And Miss Gardner is the IJAG teacher. I got to be in there for 2 classes that she did where they're working on their posters for Reverse Career Day, which will be coming up. I wish she were here. I wanted to congratulate Mr. O'Brien for being named the inaugural United High School principal. He went through a vigorous interview process to get to where we came out. When I was at Bunker, some of the things that I saw that he has spoken about here and that I look forward to when he's in his new position. I saw students in their Wolfpack time, which he has spoken about, and the positive impact that that has had on the building as a whole. Miss Gardner just brought up that she had 2 students in her class that she was going to put in positive referrals for. There were staff in the hallways during passing times. It was well-behaved students, and I think the thing that made the biggest impact was that I'm spatially just like the least. I can't follow directions to save my life, and so I got in there, and these buildings go this way and this way, and so whenever I would ask a teacher how to get to the next place I would go, I was always given a student guide, which I really appreciated. Yeah.
Thank you, Director Mills. Director Matlock.
Thank you. I first want to start off by saying thank you to the RJ Macro Trust for their donation and the support of the Waterloo Schools Life Labs. I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to check one of those out at some point, just so I'll know more about it. Awesome presentation from Lowell Elementary. One Lowell, happy staff, happy students. I love that. That is very cool. And as I mentioned before, those twofold questions of, do you feel value, and if not, why? I think that is very, very helpful as we try to make change. West High Journalism Program, I mean, what can I say? I don't even want to list off their awards, but congratulations to them. And I hope they have an awesome time in Minneapolis at their conference. And the best of luck to all those that are seniors that'll be, carrying on with their next steps. Carver culture, I mean, that is, since the first day I heard that when I went to a Carver community meeting, I think it might have been my first year sitting on the board, I have been like a #1 fan. So it is when Josh Payton, he was the principal at that time. And so I was really excited about hearing that, and here they still continue. And I want to thank Principal Barnett for congratulating my aunt and thanking my aunt. I get some of my education advice from her. Being in education for 28 years myself, you know, that can really be a thankless job. And so I thank him for thanking my aunt because she's tired every single day when she comes home because she cares so much about those kiddos. So I thank you for that and that opportunity. And I'm looking forward to Carver being on campus tomorrow, the book club. They are going to tour Wartburg tomorrow, and they're going to be on campus with our Black Student Union. So I'm looking forward to that. And I can't wait to see what the Waterloo United culture looks like as we continue to develop this. Just one more thing, as the last couple of weeks I've been doing a lot of self-reflection. I don't know if it's as I get older, you know, I start to do more self-reflecting or what, but I started to do more self-reflecting and I start just to jot down notes and thoughts over the last couple of weeks. And we've talked a lot about governance and operations, and I truly look at this as a partnership for us to move the district forward. And so when I think about building a partnership, I think about defining our roles clearly, building mutual respect, open communication, and shared commitment. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. And I feel like we have step one that we're working on now, trying to understand our roles. And so I personally am taking some extra time outside of the meetings and my day job to make sure I have a clear understanding of what my role is to be a board member, taking additional trainings, actually looking for a mentor that has sat in this seat, not necessarily Waterloo, but anywhere in the state, just so I can have a better understanding of what this partnership actually looks like. And so I'm asking my fellow board members and maybe even DLT, just take a moment to self-reflect, you know, as we move forward with the decisions that we have to make. And as I said before, I'm all in. I want to work on this relationship and this partnership that we have together in order to be successful. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Matlock. Director Schmidt.
Yeah, several items. The first on the journalism presentation, you know, it's just amazing. They're dedicated to journalism, but then you ask them, well, Air Force, bioengineering. So the more they get involved, the more the students see, I think the more doors it really opens. So I'm always impressed to see students who are, you kind of try to peg in one direction, and they're way beyond that. Positive culture. Who has it better than us? Nobody. I don't think you can overstate the value of that attitude. That seems to be systemic at that school. That's really, really powerful. Too often we talk in the negatives. Who is it better than us? Nobody. Wow. And then the other tidbit I picked from that presentation was the student joined just to be with his friends and then became interested in basketball. That happens so often. So we need to make sure that, logistically it's easy to join through the scheduling of practices and so forth. And second of all, the coaches, and I think they do a wonderful job of this anyway, but never overlook anybody, because you don't know, especially at that age, who they're going to become. Lastly, I have a statement I was going to, congratulations to Zach. I see that he left, but now Zach, arguably you have the most impactful job anyone in Waterloo has ever had. So congratulations. The board has spoken. We're now aligned. Matter of fact, the stage has been set here in Waterloo for pioneering a new approach to high school education. Total new approach. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rather boldly realign high school education appropriate for a changed world. I think in many cases we're teaching to 10 years ago or 5 years ago. That's not tomorrow. So in this case, the job is going to be really challenging because there's no precedent, there's no model for a true career-centric high school. But we know our mission statement, we know the end game, and maybe a little more specific than the mission statement, is to provide every Waterloo student an opportunity to graduate from high school with a living wage skill set immediately upon graduation. And I don't know what that living wage is. It's going to depend, but it's in the $25 to $30 an hour. So even though there's been a few bumps in the road in the hiring process, in the end, I think everybody has always agreed it's all about students. It's all about our future, the students' future, the community's future, all our futures. So now is the time to unite in supporting Zach and his supporting team. So Zach, you have my 100% support, and I call on others to support Zach and the Waterloo United High School team as well. Amen.
Thank you, Director Schmidt. I have to drink some water now. And that's up to me now. That's the one thing about sitting in this chair. You know,
Get the last word.
yeah, or I either get the last word or somebody always gets to steal your thunder.
Oh,
But I'm good with that. I think I just got a text from Director Ewing. She didn't mean to hang up. She just pushed the button after that mic drop. So it wasn't anything that any of the board members did or the public. Just wanted to put that out there. We had a eventful evening at the board table. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the R.J. McElroy Foundation for their generous donation and their continued support of the Waterloo schools. It goes without saying, but we need to say it. The R.J. McElroy Foundation, along with others, is an extremely instrumental part of this district running. The people and the financial gifts and support go a long way. If you get an opportunity to look at the board agenda and see each detailed thing that each grade level will do for Life Labs, you'll understand what we're talking about and how important those funds and that partnership with those foundations is. It's detailed from pre-K, K, all the way up through 12th grade, in which each individual grade level, and that's all the students within those grade levels, what they'll get to experience. So again, thank you to the R.J. McElroy Foundation for that generous gift. I actually had an opportunity to even have an email conversation with I won't mention the young lady's name, but within that conversation, Mr. Jim Waterbury name came up quite a few times. And I had an opportunity to meet him, talk with him briefly. I didn't know him all that well, but I'm a product of what he's meant to this community and what he's meant as a supporter, a funder. Last time I've seen him, I believe, was at the Waterloo, the foundation breakfast was the last time I seen him. And it's always pleasant to hear that voice that I remember so distinctly, is what I remember the most. But just a champion among champions in this community. So we'll greatly miss him. So continued thoughts and prayers to his family as they go through this tragic loss. Thank you to those schools and individuals that presented to us this evening. It's always good. People just don't understand what we sometimes have to go through sitting behind this dais. And to be able to celebrate with our staff and our students and see the joys on their faces when they come in front of us and talk about all the things that they've accomplished and all the things that they've learned and look to take forward into the world is the bright spot. The bright spot. So I don't want to go without saying that. So thank you to Lowell, Carver, the West High students. Ms. Goodman, I see you stayed. So thank you to those individuals. Sometimes when information is disseminated, you don't always get the just, or you sometimes have a perception, and that perception to you is reality. As my fellow board members have stated, congratulations to Zach O'Brien. You know, it's a tall task because it doesn't have a blueprint. But we're here. If you care about this community, and I know each one of you do, because you're sitting here, whether you're paid or whether you're volunteering your service, you're here. So I know you care. I know you care about this community, and we're going to support you. And I don't want to personalize it, because if it wasn't you, we're going to support this community. We're going to support our students. We're going to support you. We're going to support the Waterloo Community Schools, and whatever that looks like, whatever the need is. So I wanted to make that clear. My notes are scattered this evening. I think that may be it for my notes. The next time, or next week is spring break. So parents don't put your students on the bus stop expecting them to go to school. They're with you for a week. So March 16th through 20th, all school buildings will be closed in honor of spring break week. Our regularly scheduled board meeting for the 23rd of March has been pushed back to the 30th of March because of spring break. So the next time we'll be in this room will be on March 30th at 5 p.m. I believe that is all I have. Is there anything else that board members, did I miss anything? Thank you all. I do want to say thank you all. Thank you all for all that you do. If I don't say it enough, I'm going to keep saying it. So thank you all for all that you do. With that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. We're adjourned.